Okay, the 721 BC is when the Assyrians came over and took over the northern kingdom, the Assyrians. They stayed in that captivity for about 3 years, to about 718 BC, and they took counsel to come over here to this new world. That's why they call it the New World. Yes, the Indians did not come through the Barren Straits 100 million years ago, or whatever thing they're teaching in college, the fallacies and false teachings that you may learn in these colleges. The Bible tells you exactly how the Indian tribes got here. Now, we know that some Asians did come through the Barren Straits, but they were trading with the Indians that were already here. Now it's time to biblically, through the Bible, identify those lost sheep that are being oppressed by the nations that the Lord put over them. Let's go to Genesis. We're going back to the beginning now. Let's go to Genesis, the 49th chapter. The 49th chapter. We're going back to the beginning now. I want you to hold Genesis 49. Hold that, because we're going to hold this place. Make sure you hold that for us. Okay? Start off by showing you how the Indian tribes got over here to the Americas. Then we're going to identify them one at a time, along with the tribes of Judah. Let's go to 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, and the 17th verse.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger.
So now, this is how Israel provoked their God to anger. Started sacrificing their children and turning their children over to new gods. The same way today. We may worship something, and what we do, bring it home and give it to our children. Be it Christianity, Islam, witchcraft, astrology, Hinduism, whatever. Whatever the parents learn, they bring to their children. Read.
Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight.
His sight is on his holy land, Israel. Read.
There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
There was only one left but the tribe of Judah. He was talking about kingship. Don't forget, the kingdom was split in two. Jeroboam and Rehoboam. Rehoboam was the king over Judah. Jeroboam was the king over the Indian tribes. So the only kingship would be left after that split would be Judah, the same tribe Christ came out of.
So Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made.
Go ahead.
And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers.
Delivered them into the hand of spoilers. So you want to know how Israel got so low? He allowed the nations to spoil them and to take their riches, take their power, take their land. Go ahead.
And delivered them into the hands of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
Go ahead.
For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin.
Go ahead.
For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he did. They departed not from them. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
They was carried out of their own land unto Assyria as of this day. Now you're going to find out that they stayed in that Assyrian captivity for about 3 years. And they took counsel to come over here to the Americas. We're talking about the lost sheep now. How do we know that? In this same Apocrypha, the King James Version, which was taken out of the Holy Bible. The Catholic Church took this out of the Bible. This was actually a part of the original Bible. This is 14 books that the churches are being denied. It shows you exactly how the Northern Kingdom got here to the Americas. Read 2 Ezra 13 and 39.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him,
Go ahead.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king.
These are the 10 tribes that were carried away captive out of their own land during the time of Hosea the king. Go ahead.
Whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
The New World. Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
They went into a country where no mankind dwelt before that time. So that's a bold-faced lie that people were here in the Americas or in the earth millions and millions of years ago. Okay, that's straight philosophy that's coming from the Gentiles or heathens to distort the truth of the lost tribes. They went through all these different steps, be it schools and religious institutions, to hide who the lost sheep is today, to hide who the true people are. Read on.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
They came to keep their statutes, which they didn't keep in their own land, in 2 Kings the 17th chapter.
And
Read
they
on.
entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Now it's showing you how they got to the Americas. They went through the Euphrates, around Africa, over the ocean. Go ahead.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
A year and a half, the Lord stilled the waters. He made sure their ships wouldn't wreck. And it took the Indian tribes, or the tribes that the Europeans called Indian, to get over to this new land we're standing in here today. We're sitting in here today. The same land we're sitting on today in America, he gave it to those Indian tribes. It took them 1 year and a half to get here to the Americas. And you're going to find out if you go into Christopher Columbus Dialys, his own memoirs, you're going to find out that in those memoirs, it shows beyond any shadow of a doubt that Christopher Columbus used the Apocrypha in 2nd Esdras to state his case to the queen, that he knows the lost tribes would come over to this land. So all that stuff they thought the earth was flat and all that was a bunch of garbage they were selling people in the New World. They knew that the earth was round because the Bible tells you the earth is round. But they couldn't find this land because the Lord would shipwreck them before they could get over here. The Lord held the water still for his people so that they can get over here safely. Took them 1 year and a half to get here. Read on.
And the same region is called Asareth.
It's called Asareth. What is Asareth? Asareth means hidden land. The Most High hid it from the heathen. It's the new world that was promised to God's people, Israel, who became the lost sheep. We're going to show you how they became parts of the lost sheep. How did they lose their identity? How did they lose their customs, which they promised to keep when they got over here? We're going to show you. You seen the movie Apocalypto and all the evil that they started doing, what they were learning, how they were sacrificing their own people. So they started going back into the same evil. Then something happened where they lost their identity altogether. But yes, the Indian tribes over here are highly spiritual people. Highly spiritual. They just lost their way. So we're about to go into the book of Genesis and break down beyond any shadow of a doubt who are the lost sheep of Israel.